Hey everybody. So I showed you a little bit about working with loops. So I'm going to show some more stuff on that, but I thought you might get a kick out of virtual instruments on a computer. And this is a virtual synthesizer, which is a PS-3300. And this is an emulation of a very rare and very expensive I'm trying to remember who made these. I think it was Korg. But it was an answer to a couple of, like the Moog modular, which is that huge synthesizer with all the inputs and stuff that Keith Emerson played when he was alive, playing with Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. And this is a similar idea. When these were new, they were about $8,000, and this was back in the 70s. So you add a zero to that. And then, of course, today, if you could even find one, because I think only about 50 of them were made, they'd be over $100,000. So this is the kind of thing, one of the kind of things I do. I'm not a keyboard player per se. I never learned to play piano, but I've learned to play synthesizers and computer stuff. So pretty much anybody can do this, but I do have a sense of music. I do come from a musical family. So I thought you'd get a kick out of this for a minute or two. I'm going to show you what I do with an arpeggiator and my keyboard down here. So I'm going to start here. And I'm going to use one hand, which normally I'd use two, because I've got a hold. And you can see that the keyboard on the computer is moving also. And that's how MIDI works. It's an information that in this case goes from, even though it's not a hard synthesizer, it's looked at pretty much like it was a hard synthesizer. So if you've ever heard Tangerine Dream, or I don't know, there's a ton of older synthesizer bands from way back when, or Baba O'Reilly from The Who, that's what you're listening to, is arpeggiated keyboards. And normally I could play some bass notes at the same time. So I don't want to make this too long. It gives you an idea. All of these knobs and buttons make those knobs and buttons work, and the sliders as well down here. So you can do what's called a MIDI learn, and I'll give you an example of that right here. And it says MIDI learn, and I'm going to take this slider and I'm going to use it, and look what it does. It's so cool. So I can adjust the total volume just with that slider, or I could have used the knob. And then, of course, there's the mod wheel, and that's the pitch wheel, which makes the sound go up and down. So if I had a proper setup with not using my hands and all that good stuff, which I may spend the money to do that, that's what all that is. And I'll actually make a video with where I'm not talking, and you'll get to see that. Thanks for checking it out.